Just found out my fiance made up false allegations on an old ex. It destroyed his life and I'm worried she could do the same to me. Anna and I had been together for 5 years and were set to be married in October of last year. This woman is the love of my life. 2 weeks back we had a couple of friends over at our house. One of the friends, Becky, was a high school friend of Anna. As the night went on we obviously got a bit wasted and the conversation went into all kinds of weird stuff. The conversation landed on what is the deepest thing you regret. We all spoke and Anna said her deepest regret is losing her V card to her ex in high school and not to me. I did know this information, so that didn't bother me. Becky, who was a bit more tipsy, suddenly spoke up and called Anna a liar. A bit taken aback, I asked Becky why she would say something like that. I didn't even finish my sentences before Anna stood up and asked Becky to speak in private, but Becky refused. Becky then said Anna's biggest regret is the false SA allegations she made against her ex. Apparently in high school her ex dumped her out of the blue one day without a reason. She got angry and made false SA allegations against him. He was arrested, kicked out of school, and his family had to move states because his life was being threatened. He was also put on self-unaliving supervision as he did try to end it once. After Anna found out he tried to unalive, she confessed the allegations were fake. I actually got angry because Becky was attacking my fiance's character. I didn't believe a word she was saying until I looked at Anna with tears rolling down her face. I asked her if it was true and Anna ran into the house and locked herself in our room. It took me 4 hours to get Anna to leave our room and talk to me, and she basically confirmed that everything Becky said was true, with minor differences. I didn't know what to do at that moment, so I let her cry on my shoulder. She just kept asking me to forgive her. After I got her to bed and started to think about what she actually did, I became disgusted, and the more I thought about it, the more disgusted I was. I couldn't sleep at all that night and just got angrier and angrier the more I thought about it. That information shattered my whole image that I had of her. How can someone do something like that, to anyone? It was like the love I had for her was being replaced with anger. That morning I just avoided her every time she tried to talk to me. I couldn't look at her, I didn't want to hear her voice. It was like this the whole day. After thinking about everything again, Saturday night I came to the discussion to break up with her, because what she did is not just despicable, but what else has she lied about and is going to lie about? I refuse to live with that uncertainty in my life. Sunday morning I sat her down and asked her again to tell me the story, and she told the same story she told me Friday night. I told her I can't be in a relationship with her anymore. She broke down completely. All I could make out over her cries was the word sorry over and over again. I wasn't in the best emotional state at that moment myself. This is the woman I wanted to marry. This is the love of my life. So I called her parents and mine as well. I told them we broke up but didn't give a reason. I asked her parents to come and pick her up and asked mine to come because I was losing it myself. Her parents got to my house first. Her mom went directly to her to comfort her and her dad asked me what happened. As soon as I said the word she made false accusations, he stopped me and said he understood. He asked me if it was alright to grab a couple of her things. He went into our room and got some of her things. While he was packing her things, Anna just kept asking me to forgive her. On their way out, her father said he will be in touch to come get her other things at a later time. I know I make it sound quick and easy, but all of this took about 30 minutes. An hour later my parents arrived at our house. As soon as I saw my father I completely broke down. I couldn't even stand on my own feet. He had to keep a hold of me. I literally cried myself to sleep while my father was holding me. This was the first time I was able to sleep since Friday night. I woke up to my mom cooking dinner for us. The first question was from my father, who asked if I was okay, and I couldn't answer him. My mother then asked what happened and I just started to cry again. It took me 10 minutes to get myself together enough to talk to them. I told them everything. They sat in silence with a look of complete shock on their faces. My mother asked if it was really true and I told her Anna herself confirmed it. After that we just sat in silence the whole night. Just my dad constantly checking in on me. Monday I woke up to my dad missing and just my mom in the house. I asked her where my dad went and she told me he left their house but will be back soon. Luckily my mom answered my phone that morning when my manager called because I was a no-show at work. I got 2 weeks off at least. My dad came back later that day, with his and my mom's clothes and a couple of other things. Because they will be staying with me for a while. When I wanted to object, my father told me he doesn't want to hear it. About 4 p.m. the same day, Anna's mother came to my house and wanted to speak to me. My mother didn't want her to even come into the house but I agreed to talk to her. Apparently Anna is in bad shape. She refuses to eat and is constantly crying. Her mother asked me if I could forgive her and possibly get back together with her. They will even pay for couples counseling if that is what I needed. My mother kicked her out of my house after that. I didn't even get a chance to respond. My phone from that Sunday has been blowing up from her, our friend, her mother, even some family members on both sides wanting me to reconsider our breakup, as she did nothing to me and this was in her past. Although true, I can't forgive something like that. She caused her ex's life to be destroyed and nearly caused his unaliving. If she can lie about something like that, what else can't she lie about? What else hasn't she lied about? Almost everyone I know has been harassing me and calling me heartless for not seeing her pain, calling me an a-hole and that I'm a piece of shiz for holding something she did in her past over her head. That I never truly loved her if I can end things just like this, and it's starting to get to me. My parents are still at my house so I asked my dad what he will do. He responded with one question. Do you think you can forgive her? When I said no, his response was then that is the end of it. Everyone else can go screw themselves. Edit. She was 18 at the time she made the false accusations. I don't know if she apologized to the guy. After they moved, they completely disappeared. I know his name and the names of his parents but can't find them on any social media. 6 months passed from the time she accused her ex, to the time of her confession. Update. I have found out what happened to my fiance's ex. I know I said I wouldn't go looking for him, but he kept creeping into my mind. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. He sadly unalived himself at the age of 22. I found an obituary of him. I didn't contact his parents or anything, just some snooping on the internet from their old profile. I managed by luck to track them down through old friends and some family members. One of them posted his story online on his profile, but after the SA allegations had already been proven to be fabricated. Someone saw this from his college, learned about the SA allegations, didn't care to do further research to see it was bogus, and reported him to the school. He was kicked out and got fired from his job even though he was cleared, and he ended himself afterwards. I don't know if my ex knows. I am also labeled as a violent man now and being investigated by the police. I had to go and give a statement at the police station this morning. My ex reported me to the police for domestic violence and I was also issued with a restraining order to not go near her. Don't want to anyway. My mother is furious. I have never heard my mother cuss, but she became a sailor when I told them what was going on. Even my dad was shocked. I explained everything to the police and gave them all the evidence I have so far, all the saved messages and voicemails. But they said the case cannot just be dismissed as they still have to do an investigation, because apparently my ex has proof via photos of bruises on her body. I did ask from when and how, but the office refused to tell me. I can say with full confidence that I had never hurt her in any physical way other than a slap on the butt.